In many parts of Asia, there is an unspoken understanding. Some trees are just regular trees, and some are not. Among them, the banyan tree stands apart. It is not the tallest, it is not the prettiest, but wherever it grows, people slow their steps. Voices soften, children are warned. People avoid standing beneath it for too long, if at all. The banyan tree does not need to announce itself. Its presence alone is unmistakable. Long before cities rose and roads cut through villages, the banyan tree was already there. Its trunk thick and gnarled, its aerial roots hanging like curtains, its canopy spreading wide enough to shelter entire gatherings beneath its shade. To ancient communities, this was not just a tree. It was a landmark, a meeting place, a boundary, and according to belief, a dwelling. Across India, Southeast Asia, and parts of China, the banyan tree has long been associated with spirits, guardians, ancestors, or entities that existed somewhere between worlds. Some believed the spirits protected the land. Others believed they punished disrespect. Most simply believed one thing: you do not disturb what lives in a banyan tree. In Indian folklore, the banyan is known as the wish-fulfilling tree. It represents immortality, continuity, and the eternal cycle of life. In Southeast Asian villages, banyan trees were said to house guardian spirits bound to a place, not inherently evil but deeply territorial. In Chinese folk belief, large old trees were often seen as gathering points for yin energy. Where there was deep shade, still air, and age, spirits could linger. Different cultures, different names, but the same quiet rule. This tree is not empty. Children were taught this early. Don't climb that tree. Don't pluck its roots. Don't point at it. Don't joke around there. And especially, do not urinate near the tree. Do not speak rudely beneath it. Not linger after sunset. The reasons were rarely explained in detail. Adults didn't need to dramatize it. A simple phrase was enough. It's not respectful. Respect in these stories was not just politeness, it was survival. One common belief was that banyan trees marked thresholds, places where the human world and the unseen world touched. During the day, the tree was safe, familiar, provided shade, almost comforting. But at dusk, when shadows lengthened and sounds changed, the rules shifted. Villagers would avoid walking directly under the tree at night. If they had to pass by, they kept their eyes down. Some whispered apologies, others carried talismans, or quietly recited prayers they barely remembered learning, not because they expected something to happen, but because something might, or so they were told. There are many stories tied to banyan trees. None of them loud, none of them dramatic. A man who felt suddenly dizzy while resting beneath one. A child who fell ill after breaking off an aerial root. A construction project that stalled again and again until plans were altered to avoid the tree. Coincidence? Some say. But in villages where these stories are passed down, coincidence is simply another word for warning ignored. Interestingly, banyan trees were rarely cut down, even when land was needed. If a road had to be built, it curved. If a building had to rise, it shifted position. If a tree absolutely had to be removed. Rituals were performed, offerings were made, permission was asked, dates were chosen carefully. This wasn't superstition alone, it was negotiation. The idea was not that humans had power over the spirits, but that coexistence required acknowledgement. You don't just take space, you ask respectfully. From a practical standpoint, banyan trees were often markers of important land features. Their roots stabilized soil, their presence indicated water sources. Their shade offered relief in tropical heat. To harm such a tree was to risk environmental imbalance. But rather than explaining erosion or ecology, elders spoke of spirits, and the lesson landed. Yet even today, long after many claim to no longer believe, something lingers. In Singapore, Malaysia, India, Thailand, you can find banyan trees fenced off in urban landscapes, protected not just by law but by quiet consensus. People may walk past them daily without thinking much. Until one night, walking alone when the street is empty and suddenly the tree feels different, the air cooler, the space heavier, the silence more aware. Nothing happens, but you walk a little faster anyway. Some say the spirits of the banyan tree are not malicious. They are ancient, neutral, observant. They don't chase, they don't attack, they simply respond. If you respect the space, nothing follows you home. If you disturb it, the imbalance shows itself slowly, subtly, a streak of bad luck, a persistent unease, a sense that something is off. Or did it always feel that way? There is a reason these stories endured even as religions changed and cities grew. The banyan tree teaches restraint. It reminds humans that not everything exists to be used. Not every space belongs to us. Not every silence needs to be broken. In a world that constantly demands explanation, the banyan tree stands quietly, offering none. Some elders say that the spirits attached to banyan trees are bound by time, that they predate current generations, that they remember names no one speaks anymore. If you sit beneath such a tree long enough, they say you may feel watched, not threatened, just noticed, and perhaps that is the discomfort. Modern psychology might say this is projection, that humans are uneasy around large, dark, unfamiliar forms. That silence triggers imagination. And that may be true. But cultural memory cannot be easily dismissed. When multiple societies separated by geography develop similar rules around the same symbol, it raises a question. Why this tree? Why not others? The banyan does not grow neatly. Its roots descend from branches, touching the ground and becoming trunks themselves. It spreads outward rather than upward. It multiplies. To ancient observers, it looked less like a single organism and more like a colony. One becoming many, many becoming one. Alive in a way that felt intentional. In some traditions, it was believed that souls who could not move on, those who died suddenly, violently, or with unresolved attachments, were drawn to such trees. Not trapped, but anchored. A place to linger, a place to rest, a place to watch. Today, most people pass banyan trees without thought. They sit beneath them, scrolling on their phones. Children play nearby. Life goes on and nothing happens. Of course, nothing happens. But sometimes, late at night, when the city is quiet and the tree stands alone under a streetlight, you might notice the way the roots seem to reach, the way the leaves block sound, the way the air feels still beneath its canopy. And for a brief moment, you remember something you were once told. Something about respect, something about not lingering, and you leave, just in case, because whether or not spirits truly live within banyan trees is not the point. The story was never meant to scare. It was meant to teach that some things are older than us, that not all power is loud, that coexistence begins with humility, and that sometimes the wisest thing a human can do is to bow their head in reverence and accept that not everything needs to be understood and proven as fact. That the deep magnetic energy of each banyan tree speaks for itself, and we're just here to bear witness to it.